Nashville Hotel, streaming our Impact Day here with Paul Grindstaff, as well as Jason Baker, Executive Director over at the Champions for Literacy. But, Paul, we're going to start with you here. And, again, we're streaming. Thank you for everybody for coming out tonight, and thank you for everybody for watching. But, Paul, we're going to start with you, and then we'll get to you, Jason. Paul, this is a somewhat new venture for you, not NIL, but, here in Nashville and here at Vanderbilt as the general manager here of Anchor Impact. Anchor Impact. Tell the people about Anchor Impact and what your goals are, and kind of some background on you for people that don't know who you are.
Sure thing, Billy. Thanks a lot, and thanks everybody for coming to join us tonight. We've got our live segment, our live studio audience, so we can hear and see a lot of the people having fun here tonight. I'm the executive director and general manager of Anchor Impact. Anchor Impact is the NIL collective for Vanderbilt athletics, and our job is to work as a collective with individuals and businesses to pool funds to recruit and retain athletes and win championships. And that's what we do. And so what we've brought out tonight is some of our coaches, general managers, and faces of the program. And along with that, besides some of our student athletes we have here, I see Diego Pavia over there in the chow line, and some of our basketball players. We also have charitable partners. And one of the charitable partners we've worked with before, you mentioned I'm not new to NIL. I've been part of collectives at SMU, UT Arlington, New Mexico State, and one of our partners at all those stops has been Champions for Literacy. They're our charitable partner. They enable individuals who need a tax-deductible avenue to contribute to make that. And we've had programs to increase literacy awareness across the country. We'll be doing that in Nashville as well, reading to kids, elementary-age kids at school and things like that. But looking forward to tonight. We'll answer some questions. We'll have Barton Simmons here, Clark Lee's here, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll talk. You'll be my co-host here throughout
Absolutely.
the night. But
glad to do
Jason, let's get to you. You've obviously worked with Paul, whether it's SMU, UTA, NMSU, a lot of different stops. Friends with Chris Jans, Mississippi State men's basketball coach. So with your experience in sports, but also the charitable work you've done, how have you learned to mend the two, but also help everybody involved, whether it's the student athletes, the fans, and people involved with the schools as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So our nonprofit has been around 12 years. So we've been in the collegiate athletic space for 12 years. So we didn't stand up to be a part of NIL, but it was a natural extension of our work and what we do. And so we plant our flag in the cause of literacy. It's if you think about causes that have incredible economic impact for kids, literacy is top of the list. There's a stat that if a kid has a reading role model, they're 86% more likely to become a lifelong reader. And so thus we inject athletes into that space, right? Who better than to kind of model this incredible habit than athletes? And so we've been doing that with various collectives around the country, and excited to join Paul and Anchor Impact and make some impact here in Nashville.
The importance of this partnership, obviously, for you, Paul, but also for you, Jason, for you guys at Champions for Literacy. Why is it important for you guys? Maybe not specifically at Vanderbilt, but in Nashville, right? It's not the worst place to be, huh?
Yeah, if you look at, so statistically, less than 30% of kids in Metro Nashville public schools are reading on grade level. That's significant in terms of kind of long-term trajectory of the health of the Nashville city and community. And so we want to do the things we can and play the role we can to impact this cause and use athletes to do that.
Looking forward to it. Jason, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Paul.
Jason, thanks for coming out. And I'm going to ask you to do a solid for the collective. Your first task is to bring Anders Nelson up here, our volleyball coach.
Okay.
He's a 6'5" blonde over there.
Okay, great. I'm on it.
Thanks a lot, Jason.
Paul, we got a little segue here. Again, just a great opportunity for Vanderbilt fans to come out. Also for the student athletes, just looking around. Anders Nelson about to join us. Clark Lee to our left. Mikayla Blakes as well. We got some star power here tonight.
Well, and everyone, I think everyone recognizes Eli, who was just named first team tight end at all SEC, but the number one scoring point guard in the nation, you just mentioned, as Mikayla Blakes. So we're glad to have her here and star power with Coach Ralph as well.
Yeah, we're gonna
Anders,
get
come
Anders
on up.
in
We
here.
got a slot for you. How you doing, Coach?
Easy to spot,
Here's Billy.
Mr. Nelson. So we've got women's volleyball coach here at Vanderbilt, Anders Nelson, with us. Volleyball program ramping up. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's the most unique thing I've ever done, and I feel like the most unique thing any coach in this room has ever done. So starting from a program from scratch, I get to be the coach who brings volleyball back after 45 years of no varsity volleyball here at Vanderbilt. And yeah, every day is different. Every day is a challenge. Every day is hard, but all things that I knew that I wanted when I signed up for this. And yeah, it's been a blast.
NIL isn't just about money, right? It's about the experience. It's
Absolutely.
about learning at, with the ages that a lot of these student athletes are. How do you plan on utilizing that, but not just focusing on the money, right? But focusing on some of the benefits, throughout their life, really.
Yeah, I think first of all, when you take a job or look at a job at a place like Vanderbilt, you have to think about the total experience. You can't just think about on court and the success you have on court. And this place does such a great job of providing an awesome student athlete experience that NIL also has to be a part of that. And NIL has to be a part of every elite student athlete experience. And it should be. So I think there's a few things. One is ways to make it easier on your athlete to live and exist. And I know that sounds simple, but free products and free services for their daily lives go a long way and sometimes get overlooked. And I think secondly, making sure that our athletes are well equipped to use their money in the right ways and smart ways, and making sure they're educated in those ways. And then, NIL becomes a lot more of a vehicle for future success versus just money today in your hands.
We're here at Barlines. The Preds are in action right now against the Flames, but you guys have a team-wide NIL deal with the Preds.
Yes,
I
we
don't
do.
think many people may not know about that, but how did that get started, and how excited are you for that?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet a couple leaders over at the Predators who have a real passion for women's sports, and they had a real passion for our unique situation of starting a program from scratch. And I got to spend some time with her and just started talking through ways that we could help each other. And yeah, the entire team signed a deal with the Predators, and we get concert tickets. Got to go to Sabrina Carpenter this fall in a suite, so that was pretty cool for them. And then free hockey tickets in exchange for our girls to help them promote their student ticket campaign. So they get to help them with their Golden U ticket campaign. And by the way, if any students in Nashville don't know, it's $15 tickets for them to go see a Preds game. So they need to market that out there because that's a great, great deal. So we're really excited that our program gets to be associated with the Preds and associated with a company here in town that everybody loves.
Not bad at all. Not a bad deal. Honors, thank you so much for taking the time. Good
Absolutely.
luck this season.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to get Shea Ralph in here. I think she's talking to Clark Lee right now, so we'll get Anders to go get Shea for
There we go. We might let her know. And
Yeah.
and what Anders didn't mention about the Predators. So Michelle Kennedy, the president of the Predators, is on our board of governors. That's one of my bosses.
Right.
Obviously, she couldn't be here tonight. Who is here is Jim Littlejohn. He's another one of my bosses.
Yep.
And so it's engaging with everyone. And again, we're excited to have Coach Ralph here in mid-season and with a couple of her stars. I'm going to move over one slot and let her have the spotlight as she comes up. So here comes
we're
Coach
getting
Ralph.
ready for Coach Shea Ralph here. Snag you a mic, and
Hey, Coach, there
we'll
you
get
go.
rolling.
Thanks for being here.
Coach, I don't think.
So they're just take this off.
Yeah, we're
That's cool. It's like
Shea, Billy Derrick. Nice to meet you. Yeah, we're live. We're going.
live. Let's go.
We're live.
Everybody. We're live.
So, Coach, sizzling start, 9-1 overall, 6-0 at home, ranked 8th in the net right now, creeping up to the top 25, of course. What's it been like this season and year 2 for you? Just continue to build this thing.
Yeah, it's actually year 4.
Oh,
know.
wow.
Time flies.
My apologies.
I still look like it's year 2, right? I still look like it's year 2. No, it's been awesome. I mean, we have a really good group of ladies, and it's taken a while to get here. I think the cool part is just kind of watching the climb. And I always tell them to try to enjoy the journey because day to day it can be challenging, right? There's a lot on the line for these ladies. They, not only are they athletes at the highest level, but they're also students at Vanderbilt. And we get them out in the community like today and try to have them engage with anybody out there that we feel like we can impact in a positive way. So it's been a really fun time, but we're actually winning games this year, which makes it even better.
You're in year 4, to
Yes,
be
year
exact.
4.
You spent more than just 4 years with Gino Auriemma at UConn. I think that's such an interesting part of your career, and what an honor, obviously, that was for you. But how did that help you to get to where you are now in your career, whether it's Vanderbilt or even other stops along the way? Like, how much did that experience mean to you with him and everybody else you got to work with?
Yeah, it's probably once in a lifetime, if it will ever be done again. The things that he's done there. But remember, I played there too, so literally spent just about 20 years, about half of my life at UConn, and the winning and the championships and all that was great, but they did teach me very valuable lessons in terms of what it looks like to be successful, what it looks like to win in life, the resilience that you have to have, leadership, teamwork, sacrifice. And so I've been able to take that and utilize it in every area of my life. And one of the reasons that I coach is because of the impact that my teammates and my coaches had on me at UConn. Obviously, we won championships. We did a lot of great things, but it was bigger than that for me. I learned the lessons that I needed to learn to be okay in life. So now I love basketball. We love to win. We want to win basketball games and championships, but I also get the opportunity to help impact their lives so that they can go on and be successful after that as well.
Well, and you didn't play in the NIL era, but now you're coaching in the NIL era. How has it changed? We all know how much it's changed, but in what ways has it changed, and how have you learned to adapt as a coach, but also help your student athletes, use it to their advantage as well?
Yeah, it's changed in every way. It's literally changed in every way. It's hard to describe the changes. When I was in college, you weren't, and the transfer portal didn't really exist either. If you transferred, you lost a year of eligibility.
Right.
So there were also not cell phones. If we're going to go there and date myself, there were not cell phones. So I'd have a really crappy day. I'd go home and there's no cell phone. I can't call anyone. I have to wait in line at the payphone. By the time I get to the front, it's like, hey mom, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'll figure it out, But these kids, they don't have that. And I know I hear a lot of kids are different. They're this, they're that. I don't think it's the kids that are different. I think the world is different. And we have to adapt to that to make sure that we're helping them learn, because at the end of the day, they're still kids. I love that NIL exists because I think in theory it's great. They should be able to monetize off their name, image, and likeness. A lot of these kids come from nothing, and this is their way to kind of catapult themselves into the next area of their lives. But I do think that the guardrails are important. So while we're navigating that for these student athletes and we're doing everything we can at a very high level, the best we can do for them is to provide a holistic developmental experience. And the thing that I love about Vanderbilt is that we can do both, right? So we can compete in NIL. Thankfully, thank you to all the people in the room that are watching today, to our administration, to the SEC conference, to Vanderbilt, to the chancellor, because we need to recruit the best student athletes in the world here. But then when we get them here, we can provide this experience. It's holistic. So we're winning basketball games, they're competing at a high level, but we're also developing them as young women, because that is important. You have to remember they are kids. They need to be taught and mentored and guided. And so I like that we can do both.
One of them is Mikayla Blakes, Jordyn Oliver also here. Not sure if we're going to be talking to them or not, but just real quick, what has Mikayla meant for the program so far and just such a short time here?
I don't know if I can put that into words. I mean, go on to our social media. You'll see all the things that she's accomplished. I think right now she's leading the country in scoring as a freshman, or very close. So she's already doing things that have never been done as a freshman at Vanderbilt and in the SEC conference. And along with that, we're winning a bunch of games. And, when we recruited Mikayla, it was never about what's in it for me. Those weren't the conversations we were having with her. She just wanted to be great. And that's how I knew she would be different. I think the pleasant surprise is that she's way better than we thought. And it's come from just her intangible qualities, her fearlessness, her resilience, her ability to make everybody around her better on and off the court. She is a unicorn. I'm really happy that she's at Vanderbilt.
Coach, we're happy you're here as well.
Thank you.
Year 4 for you.
Year 4
again.
Year 4,
so
yeah.
Good luck rest of the way, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. That's
Thank
the
you, guys.
Vanderbilt women's basketball coach, Shea Ralph. Coming up, we're going to get Barton Simmons. I'm not sure where he is, but maybe that's your job.
There we go.
I'm on. Bye,
to go
everybody.
find
Thank you for watching.
Barton Simmons.
Coach,
but
thanks so much.
Thank you. Here you go. Let me go find
that's
There you
Shea
go.
Ralph, Vanderbilt women's basketball coach.
AnchorImpact.com, at Anchor Impact on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a follow. Inboxes are always, DMs are always open, and we got the star power here, and we want everyone to be a part of it. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Billy, for hosting us here, and of course, Omni, Nashville, and Barlines are a great partner of Vanderbilt, and we'll keep this going. I think what everyone's looking forward to is talking about the portal and football and things like that.
Yep.
And so we'll get Barton and Clark up here, and we'll get that going.
Yeah, I think Barton's making his way over
I see
here.
him.
This is portal season.
See him coming right now.
Yeah, he's got the jacket on.
There
He's
you go.
just shook the hand of Joseph Bulivas, former
you go.
Vanderbilt kicker. I
Yes,
think that was the early years of Clark. So we'll go ahead and do Barton on
make
his
his
own.
way up.
So
There you
right,
go.
right here in the middle.
Got you the captain's chair, Bob.
Barton, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. You busy?
yeah. Yes. Yes. In fact, it's pretty busy right now. This is yeah, we're full speed ahead. It's been a busy really a couple of weeks leading up to this, and we're in it right now. We're in the thick of it, and it's fun, man. It's fun. We're attacking it.
Yeah, I'm interested, from year one to now, obviously it wasn't as big of an emphasis for you guys as it is now, and maybe even last year, right? It's changed year to year. How have you yourself personally learned in this role how to maneuver things, how to operate, who to talk to? Because, for everyone's learning. For you personally, where have you grown specifically the last, really, I guess, 2-3 years?
Man, I hope I'm going to keep growing, and I'm still growing, because I don't by any stretch believe that like I've mastered anything. I think we're all really trying to learn. We're all really trying to adapt. I think for me, there has been a just in the way we manage the portal and the way we attack the portal, and really what we think we can get out of the portal. I think probably one area of growth for me is shifting the way I think about motivators for players, the way I think about what a Vanderbilt football player looks like. And I think I've always thought about it differently than maybe the stereotype, but I think through the portal, you really sort of dial in and refine like what motivators are to these guys, because it's such a fast process. And so I think for me, it's been really educational to see some of the guys come into the building with way different motivators, way different backgrounds, way different perspectives, and some fit at a really high level and some don't at a really high level. And those profiles may not always be what you may expect. And I think that's been a learning experience in some ways, just the evaluation of the person.
A common question is, how do you approach the portal, right? What is your perspective on the portal? How does it help your program? So I'm going to ask you what is, and it's kind of a basic question, but how would you describe your approach to the transfer portal, where the program is right now?
I think the transfer portal allows for us to just to get better quicker. And I think, so last year, obviously, the season we had, 2023, was really disappointing. And we were planning on using the portal at a really high level, but not to the extent we actually did. And that was a necessity. Well, it was sort of necessitated by some of the attrition we had. And in doing that, I think we really learned, like, this is an area we can really attack, maximize. And I think going into this season, 6-6, yeah, we had some big sort of some moments where we saw evolution within the program, but like ultimately we still look out on Saturdays and we want to be better from a personnel standpoint. We want to continue to, and so I think to understand how aggressive we can be and how much we can change and improve our roster on a year-to-year basis, it really is like, I think of college where I came here in 2021 and I thought, hey, listen, we're a developmental program. We're thinking 4 years in advance. It's like every year is a contract year, and you're trying to build for the next year.
We've got Paul Grindstaff here, obviously, general manager of the Anchor Impact Collective. How much interaction is there between whether it's you and Paul, you, Clark and Paul? That's one of the things I'm interested in. I know a lot of people are interested in, and it may be different for specific situations. So how much interaction is there between you, the program, and the collective?
I think during the season, it's, I'm talking to Paul probably once a week. I think as the season winds down, that accelerates to where I'm talking to him a couple of times a week. And then as you start to get into this time of year, it's daily and it's multiple times daily. It's 5 times daily. I mean, it becomes a real rhythm where we have to be in lockstep. And I think that's ultimately sort of where I really appreciate Paul, because Paul can manage things at a really high level in terms of like all that goes into those collectives, the negotiations and everything. And so like for me to be able to count on him, trust him, for him to be a get shit done kind of guy, and then for us to just really kind of have the trust and the communication that we have, so that he's doing it in service of the program, I think has all really been. It's been a great relationship, and I'm really excited about kind of where it's going to go.
All right, your job is to go get Clark, bring him over here. But Barton, thank you so much.
Easy
it's
enough.
been a pleasure.
Thanks.
Good luck the rest of the portal season.
All right, appreciate it, Billy.
We're going to get Clark Lee in here, and then we're going to get Diego Pavia as well. Oh, there goes the mic. We got Clark Lee coming up, Vanderbilt football coach, to keep this thing rolling. Coach?
Billy, how we doing?
Good to have you here.
It looked like Barton fumbled the microphone on the way out.
I thought he
not a
worked
good
in
look.
media before he worked
That's
in
right, I know. You wouldn't know. I guess he's forgotten all you learned. But
Coach, it's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome event so far, and in Nashville and the NIL space, this has got to be a cool event to be a part of, and hopefully this grows in the future and builds into something even better. But it's got to be good to be here.
it is. I think anytime I'm with people that care about Vanderbilt, I'm going to have fun. But certainly this is the single most important thing that we're doing right now. And getting the NIL message out there and understanding the opportunity we have right now at Vanderbilt to redefine what winning looks like, redefine what's possible, especially with Vanderbilt football. I feel like we're at a beginning point now, but it's going to be these efforts that continue to allow us to reach for more.
Coach, how has NIL leveled the playing field? I think that's another common question in college sports right now, but for you in the SEC, do you feel like it's leveled it a little bit for you guys? Obviously, there's steps forward that you guys have to make, but in what ways do you believe that it's helped level things a little bit?
Well, talent acquisition has changed, and I think it's in some ways what we experienced from year 2 to year 3 was the gap actually growing, so the field became more challenging. Why? Because we weren't participating in the game the way we needed to be, which meant we had to look into the transfer portal and we had to start to generate some NIL resources to us so we could go out and get players. And in so many ways, the part of the transformation we've made from year 3 to year 4 is a willingness to do this. And a credit to Vanderbilt, the university stepped up and created opportunities for us to add transfers or graduate programs that again make success for us on the field attainable. So the field will continue to level as we continue to be smart in the way we build our program, identifying people to bring in and develop out of high school, but also identifying people to take from other programs that have tangible college experience, and that's a way for us to continue to eat into this gap that's existed between us and our peers for a really long time.
In a transactional world of college athletics, I don't get the sense that this is a transactional program, and you've talked all about the messaging within your program and trying to keep guys focused on obviously the bowl game, but also in their future and what they're focused on. So how important is messaging as a whole, whether it's NIL, portal, the bowl game, practice? Like, how important is specific messaging for you within your program?
I think being really clear about, setting a course for us to all be on the same page with what our goal is. And this bowl prep, for example, is it's a game that has historical significance to our program with respect to finishing with a winning record and winning a bowl game and beating a 5th Power 5 team. Those things mean something to us. It's a legacy game for this team because it gives us a great launching point moving forward. And everyone who's stitched into this effort over the course of the season belongs as a part of this process. And so for us, the messaging is what drives the alignment. And if I can be really clear in, first of all, understanding how crazy the world is in college football right now and how uncertain some of the things are with respect to players in our program and their futures, be really clear with that and yet set a course for this team to finish well. That's what we've tried to do. I think when you look at the transactional aspects of it, it's easy to judge them that way at the start, but really all of this is in service to the players. So we are doing the best we can to set a course for success for guys that are in our program, that are meant to stay in our program. And for those that aren't achieving the results that they want, we want to facilitate an opportunity for them to go and to chase the dreams that they have of playing on fields that may not be at Vanderbilt, but we can help them get to somewhere else. And in doing so, we create room to bring people in that want to seize the opportunity at Vanderbilt. So all positive things. Certainly messaging is important, but it's just driving that alignment that helps us reach for the results we want.
Lastly here, Coach, portal opened yesterday. How are things going so far with that? And I know we've talked a lot about the balance between the portal opening and the bowl game, but how have you as the head coach sort of operated in that sphere so far? I know it's, a couple of days in advance, but we know that this is an all year round thing with the portal.
We were really excited to be selected for a bowl game, and if they would have told us that we were playing today, we would have been ready to play today. But I was really pleased with the 27th as a game date, because it gives us the time to go through this process in the portal. We've had hard conversations last week. We've created some space, and now it's about bringing guys in that we think can help elevate the performance on the field. And we have visitors on campus right now. In fact, that's what I was doing before I came over here. So this will go over the next couple weeks until we go to Birmingham, and then it may extend a little past that. But I feel really good about where we are, where our boards are, and again, the interest in coming and joining our program. We have work to do to get to the finish line, but I think we're off to a great start.
In theory, you're going home to Selma. Selma. I don't know how far Selma is from Birmingham.
It's a little bit of a ways, but yeah, hey, it's close enough. And of course, I spent a year at Birmingham Southern College, which is no longer in existence, but those were my stomping grounds for 1 year. It'll be special to be back there.
We're going to get Diego up here, but Coach, thanks for the time.
Awesome,
this was awesome, and good luck with the bowl prep and the portal and everything.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
All right, thanks, Coach. That's Vanderbilt head coach Clark Lee. We're going to get Diego Pavia in here to wrap things up. It's been a great night here at Barlines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, and I think Paul's trying to find Diego somewhere, but we got Diego coming up, and obviously Vanderbilt approaching their bowl game December 27th. It is Friday at 2:30 there in Birmingham at the Birmingham Bowl. So we're going to keep this thing rolling, and we're going to take trying to find Diego. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. We're going to wrap this thing up with Diego Pavia. All right, I think we got Diego Pavia. Found him back there. I think he was eating. This will be the last guest of the night. You're good with that one. Diego, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing good. I want to start with Paul Grindstaff. I know with him being at New Mexico State, how long have you known him, and what can you tell us about Mr. Grindstaff?
He's one of a kind. He's a hustler for sure, but he really cares about like the student athletes and their process. And I remember being at New Mexico State, he was like, "Hey, just call me if you need anything." And I needed surgery on my shoulder at the end of last season, and he got me hooked up with, this great doctor and everything. He shipped me to Dallas, Texas. He picked me up. He took me in for surgery. He got me out, and like he's just so caring for me. I'm just grateful to be still, a part with Paul Grindstaff.
Another guy that you came over here with, a couple of guys, a lot of New Mexico State guys, Jerry Kill, Tim Beck. I want to talk about your relationship with them specifically. How much have they meant to your career, and just what's your relationship like, and how lucky and honored did it feel for you to have another season with them and maybe more? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here unless Coach Kill was here, and that's just me being real. I was committed to Nevada. Coach Beck called me. He's like, "Hey, just slow down your decision." I was like, "I already committed." He's like, No, I'll have someone call you. And it was Coach Kill who called me from Mexico, and he's like, "Hey, I'm headed to Nashville, chief consultant." And I was just like, it was almost like just a great relief just left me. And my mom was like you got to go, and I knew it was in my best interest to go. So I'm just so glad to have them, as my backbone. They support me in everything I do. And then Coach Lee too, like he allows them to control me because they've been with me for so long, and it was easy. It was just plug in and play, and then we got a lot more ahead of us, though. If I get this extra year, we'll be a playoff team.
How much of an impact has Anchor Impact had on you? Obviously, NIL runs college athletics right now. If you're not using it, you're behind the eight ball, right? So for you personally, how has it helped you? I mean, it's probably changed your life in a lot of ways, really.
Right. Yeah, I would say Anchor Impact has changed my life, and I'm just so grateful for the people who donate, to be honest. I wouldn't, I'm just so grateful to be in the position that I am. Grateful for Vanderbilt athletics, but with Anchor Impact, we're able to build a team here that is going to be unstoppable next year. I see us going to a national championship next year and becoming the best team in the country, and that's our goal here at Vanderbilt. The mentality shift was here this year, and it's just getting slowly started. And I can't wait to get started on next year. And it all starts with Anchor Impact. I can tell you that. And all these kids want. It takes a lot of money to get a great O-line, and if we have a great O-line, we'll have a great chance of doing what we want.
You got almost maybe one more game left in your career, right, with the Birmingham Bowl. I don't know if you've ever been down there, but that's a really nice stadium. I think it's going to be a great environment. Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech get to face off with Haynes King.
Right.
It's going to be electric. But for you personally, I mean, this could be the last. So how grateful are you to have another 2-3 weeks here with your guys and play in a bowl game?
It's bittersweet for sure. College went by like a blur, and I'm just so thankful to be able to play here at Vanderbilt. This season changed my life forever. So thankful for God for putting me in this situation. Thankful for Jerry Kill for bringing me here, and Coach Beck bringing me here and believing in me and trusting me. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here at Vanderbilt, and I encourage everyone around the world just to come to Vanderbilt and really experience Nashville and Vanderbilt as a school, then as athletics. This place is second to none, and I love it here, and I'm super grateful for everyone.
It's not a bad place, is it?
No.
That's
never.
Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt quarterback, obviously with the bowl game coming up. Got to continue bowl prep, but Diego, thanks for taking the time, my man.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
That's Diego Pavia, and we're going to go ahead and cut things off. But big thanks to Paul Grindstaff and Barlines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. And, we're actually going to get Mikayla Blakes in here. So we're going to wrap it up. I said earlier we'd wrap it up, but we got Mikayla Blakes and Jordyn Oliver joining us now. We'll get these mics on. Don't trip over the cords. You guys good?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Mikayla Blakes right here, Jordyn Oliver. You guys, you've been on the Vandy Sports podcast before, but Mikayla, I'll start with you. Obviously, as a freshman, leading the nation in scoring. I mean, has everything gone the way you've expected? I'm sure it hasn't been too bad of a start for you guys so far.
Yeah, I think it's been really good. And then just having teammates behind me, like especially Jo, she just gives me so much confidence that when I go out on the court, I just believe I can do anything.
Yeah, as a freshman, how much has Jordyn and really, I mean, Camille, everybody, this is an older type team. How much have they helped you in your growth just so far?
Man, I think without them, I probably wouldn't have as much confidence as I do have. They just tell me every day, keep shooting the ball. You're a really good player. We believe in you. So having that's good.
For people who haven't watched your game, how would you describe your game?
What would I say? I think
A hooper.
Yeah, a hooper. No, I would definitely be like, I'm a gritty player. Like, I like to get on the floor, dive for loose balls, and just do whatever the team needs me to do, whether it's scoring, playing defense, taking charges, anything like that.
Jordyn, with you as a veteran, obviously, NIL has sort of changed throughout your career and probably become more of an emphasis for you. How has Anchor Impact helped you throughout your career, and especially this season where, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell how much of an impact the collective has had, just like a lot of other places?
It's really been a blessing, just, getting extra money, honestly, and just money that you didn't expect to get and being able to, help our families and do all that. So it's really just a blessing for Anchor Impact to be here.
We had Shea Ralph on earlier, and, I mean, she's incredible. Her experience, she played at UConn, coached under Gino Auriemma. How much has she taught you? It's year 4 for her, and it hasn't been easy, but, how much has she taught you, throughout your career here?
I think she's taught us to be relentless. That's what she writes on the board every day before games, and she taught us to just keep going. She's a champion, and we want to win championships. So, listening to her, understanding what she's telling us, understanding that she has our best, intentions at heart.
You guys are 9-1 overall, 6-0 at home. That number, I mean, that could keep going, right? Yeah. So, I mean, what's the motivation for you guys, and what do you want to tell the fans, the students, to try to get out and pack Memorial Jones?
Just keep coming to watch us. We're having fun. We love to have fun. And what motivates us is honestly that everybody still kind of looks over us. Everybody doubts us, but we like being an underdog. We like having a chip on our shoulder. We like people not expecting anything from us because we expect a lot from ourselves.
That's Jordyn Oliver, Vanderbilt women's basketball. Mikayla Blakes, leading the nation in scoring, former 5-star as well. Guys, appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right. And that will do it here from Barlines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, here with Mikayla Blakes and Jordyn Oliver. But big thanks to everybody for making this possible. If you watched on the stream or if you came out, thanks again. I'm Billy Derrick for the Vandy Sports Podcast.